Money.
Sex.
Gen X.
All right. Good morning, Chicago and the rest of the world. Welcome to the Money, Sex, Gen X podcast. I'm your host with the most, the man with the plan, the Scotty Pimpin. Podcast Pimpin. Hey, I'm never alone, man. I'm here with the G of Genius Lab, music mogul in the making, the Rashid Wallace of podcast knowledge, my homie, my brother, my co-host, Big Stu.
You already know what it is. What's happening, E-Money? Thank you
What's
for the
going on,
introduction,
man?
brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
How you doing, sir?
Man, I am not complaining, brother. I'm not complaining. All is well. Life is good. Nothing to complain about. What's happening on your end, man?
Things are good. Things are good. I'm 50-year-old man, so I'm living that 50-year-old man lifestyle and navigating through that, but I'm good. Good.
All right. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Been a
welcome
while,
to the club. Man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. But we in it, like Bennett.
We in it. We not
so
quitting.
Let's go ahead and spin it, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So I want to always make sure we tell you all. So if you like thought-provoking content with a little personality in there, definitely check us out on all the platforms. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel by just typing in @MoneySexGenX. We got Apple Music, Spotify, all the major streaming platforms. We are there. I want to give a quick shout out so we're definitely streaming now, Stu, in 106 countries and 1,003 cities globally.
That's amazing. That sounds unbelievable. So, hey, let me give a shout out to some of the top countries and cities. Germany, yes. Brazil, Canada, and in the U.S., of course, we got Chicago, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Northern Virginia, and San Diego. Shout out to y'all for showing all the love. Appreciate that.
Sir. In the house, we appreciate y'all, MSG family.
No doubt.
So, boom, we're back at it. So this is actually, let me make sure we clarify this. This is season 8.
Season 8.
Episode 52. And our title for this is, what is your relationship with AI? What is your relationship with AI? Now, I got to give Big Stu credit for this. I was hanging out with Stu the other day. We're chopping it up, and we got into this conversation about AI. And Stu mentioned that he's got a couple of homies that interact with AI in a very interesting way. I'll let you tell us more.
Well, I got a couple of homies that I feel like I'll describe it, are in relationship with AI almost. They say please and ask it questions, and not just asking questions. Can you pull data or something? Can you put a proposal together? But more like, how do you feel about how would you handle this situation? So I was a bit judgmental about that methodology and use, and so we were talking about just starting with saying please versus commanding the technology, and that's how kind of we got here, so.
Okay. Yeah, and so you all may not know this, but Big Stu was actually the one who introduced me to AI. It was a brief message that he sent me, but it took me in some wonderful places. But yeah, so we talked about it, and I was on the side of I'm the please and thank you guy. Like I'm like please and thank you and all that. And Stu, as we were talking, we uncovered, because I was like, well, if you say please and thank you, you get better output and all of that. We found out that that's not true. Somebody told me that, or I saw that somewhere. I did message chat after I left your crib, and I'm like, if I say please and thank you, is there any benefit? And chat was like, Well, the benefit is more so I know that you're getting the responses that you're looking for. It creates a more positive environment, but it's not changing the output necessarily. But cool, I learned something on that. That's cool. Now, on the
Okay.
part about the homies having this relationship, I think I'm kind of in the middle, right? I'm not treating it like a human, but I'm definitely treating it as a thought partner, right? And when I say it, I'm talking about AI. And let's define AI before we dive into
Yeah.
that. You know, we like to do our actual factuals. The actual factual today is just our definition. So, just to make sure we're framing this, artificial intelligence is a technology designed to perform tasks that usually are done by humans, such as understanding language, recognizing patterns, generating responses, making predictions, and helping people solve problems. Okay, that's the little definition I found online. What is your definition of artificial
Listen,
intelligence?
it's fake,
Uh-huh.
not real
Okay,
academia, because I just don't want to reuse the word intelligence.
sure.
It's it's a tool that is designed to mimic human text.
Okay,
And as you and I found, human conversation. It
true
is
indeed.
a tool designed to mimic
Right,
human conversation, human thought, human text. That's it.
right. Okay,
That's it.
okay. And me personally, I don't have a problem with that, right? It's
Yeah.
mimicking it. However, part of what me and you were talking about the other day, I feel like you might get more solid responses from that mimicry than you would from a conversation with another person at times. Now, let me give you an example. Say you
Okay.
are contemplating very sophisticated business deal or arrangement. You don't necessarily have anybody in your circle, and say it's in a tech space, right? It's very specific. Say you don't have anybody in your circle that you can go to and say, hey, this deal is on the table. Here's the current deal points. Can you help me think through this? And so, what I don't want us to miss is yes, it's artificial, but it still could be filling in a significant gap in your life or current situation. What say
That
you?
that is what say you? I love it. Uh that is accurate. The
Mhm.
problem that I have is, just realizing that it's not able, I don't believe that it's able to pick up the nuance, the human nuance in relationship to each other. And I will continue to say AI is not smarter than me. I can get better outputs than AI every single day of the week. Hands down, I will output. I can generate much better outputs than AI ever could. Where AI beats me is in how fast they deliver their outputs. But their outputs generally need my they need some ingredients from me, the human. And so I agree that it will help to start helping you think through things, but it's not the end all be all as some people are demonstrating their use of it. That it's like, oh well, I'm hearing like the new term, the new phrase that pays is I talked to my friend Chat. I talked to
Okay.
my boy Chat.
Yeah.
Me and Chat. I had a conversation with Chat.
No
And it's
doubt.
like, that's the new name. The new
Sure.
name is Chat. I talked to Chat
Definitely.
and so I'm okay. But is Chat is good. I
Right.
love Chat. I love Chat. I'm performing. I can get so much done with Chat, but you can't stop. You can't rest with Chat. Chat is not. It's not real. Look, it's like we know. Let me give you an example, and I don't want to. I want to keep it in alignment with what we have on the agenda. And this is gonna make sense. I'm gonna make sense and keep this brief. I go to the toy store for the twins. We go to Five Below because they love Five Below, and it's okay, cool. And they buy this hamster, this fake.
Mhm.
They got a pink one and a blue one. I got a boy and a girl. I got a pink and a blue hamster. You put the battery in, and you put this thing down, and it rolls around in the hamster wheel.
Okay.
And I was like, and for 2026, this is one of the best inventions ever, right? It's like, this makes so much sense. Why? Because it mimics a hamster, but it is not a hamster. It
Right.
looks like a hamster. It kind of performs a little, but you don't have to clean it up. It's not a real rodent. You don't have to feed it, and if it dies, you don't have to deal with the death of it, and you can replace the battery. Okay, so that's the scenario. How I see it transforming into relationships that I'm concerned about is I can easily see, because of that toy pet, people will eventually have AI mates
Yeah, for sure. For
that
sure.
look like you can design the woman of your choice.
Mhm.
You can design, and she will talk how you want her to talk to you. She will mimic a human, but the problem is it ain't a human.
Okay.
That's the problem. It's
I
not, and
got
I think that I'm concerned about people forgetting that AI is not human.
Okay, I got you. And that makes sense, right? So one thing I want to ask you about though, so you said that artificial, and I want to keep moving, but I want to get into this with you.
Yeah,
You said that
yeah,
AI cannot give better output than you specifically, right? So
never,
what if I
never.
come to you about something that you don't know about? So I
I'll
might
say
be
that.
like, no, how do
Yeah,
let's deal with some nuclear science. Not that you don't know this,
yeah,
but I'm saying, say you
yeah.
didn't know about nuclear science and I need an output on that. How does that work?
Well, I personally would tell you that's not. I don't have that information. I have to point you in the right direction.
Okay.
And so
Which could be
comparing that
chat.
to a nuclear, it, I might point you to a science lab. I might point you to a university. I might point you to Degrassi. You know what I mean? Or
Okay.
a rocket
Human.
scientist or some, a human.
Yeah.
I want to point you to a human. But if you just want, like you were talking to me about options, and so 100%, I was thinking about, okay, chat, start to teach me the basics of options as if I'm in fifth grade. And it's
Sure.
going to give me some output.
Mhm.
I won't know what's accurate or what's inaccurate until I talk to somebody who is doing it. I won't be able to say what's right or what's wrong.
Okay.
I
Now,
will be assuming that it's all right, but you cannot make that assumption.
okay. And I agree with you. I'm not, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm going to move on
Yeah,
after
sure,
this.
sure,
But I got
sure,
to say
sure.
this, right? With options specifically. So when I started doing the options and I'm looking at all these videos and stuff, it's the same thing if I'm listening to a human on YouTube. I'm assuming what they're saying is accurate. And a lot of times it's not, or the context is off,
Facts.
or they're missing some nuance about my specific situation. So while I agree that obviously this is artificial, we're dealing with some of these same issues when we're talking to humans.
That is fact.
Accuracy, context, nuance. All right, let me move on, brother.
That is facts. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So now, let's get deeper into like AI and what it is. So, yes, it interprets information. Probably the biggest thing that I use it for personally is recognizing patterns. It definitely generates or
Okay.
recommends outputs based on the data that you put in. So when Big Stu introduced me to AI, one of the things he drilled into me was, look, the output's only going to be as good as the input. You need to
Garbage
command the
in.
artificial intelligence on what you want. And that stayed with me, and it really saved me a lot of time. Now you got
Yeah.
generative AI. This is the one
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's talking about, which is it's generating text based on a prompt. But now more people still are talking about agentic AI.
Tell us
Agentic
what is
AI.
agentic AI?
All right. So I saw the term and then I went to a conference at Kellogg that was about agentic AI, and I really got it then. So they had these leaders there from Google, Paramount, any Coca-Cola, any of these big companies you could think of. And they're like, listen, AI is moving in a different direction now. We're using it as an agent of ourselves to get work done. So now I'm not
Yes,
asking chat, how do you send an email sequence or go into my email and organize my emails? It's doing it,
you're going to do it. Yeah,
an agent.
yeah,
And so that's
agentic.
where we're going now. So that's where you start hearing more about Claude and
Yeah,
Claude co-work and open
yeah,
Claude. If you're listening to this, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this, including my brother, I'm like, listen, go on YouTube and look up open Claude, just so you can understand that there's a revolution happening right now. We don't want to get left behind, right? This is really happening right now, Stu. Claude co-work, because you can say, well, I don't care about that. Well, people are going to outwork you because they got 2 or 3 agents doing the work for them now. Big deal.
yeah.
Agent. Yeah. Yep.
I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I tested it out after you left. I went
Okay.
on to Claude Cowork
All right.
and I had it to organize my desktop files.
All right. How
And
did
it
it do?
did. It
All
did a
right.
great job. It did a great
Okay.
job. Put all of my files into a folder and it was right there on my desktop. It was like this one new folder. I looked at it and it was organized to, now I didn't ask it to organize my entire desktop,
Mhm.
but I had a bunch of screenshots. If you take screenshots, they live on your
Sure.
desktop or wherever your default is. Mine is my desktop. So I had it put all of the screenshot files into a folder, but then Claude went and did something I hadn't thought about, but it kind of segmented the type of files, the type of
Yeah.
images
Yeah.
that were in there, and I thought that was pretty dope. And
No
so
doubt.
that makes me want to explore it more.
Yeah.
Now, and let me know when we get there because I did do one test. I took my resume and I put it in. I had already put my resume into Chat,
Mhm.
and Chat gave me a very good format for my resume that I then went to Canva to actually produce. And so I asked Claude to do my resume specific to a particular job. And Claude did not do a great job in comparison to Chat, as far as
Okay.
I'm concerned.
Okay.
Claude missed the mark.
Sure.
Um, and so I said, okay, all right, that's not a terrible thing. It's not a deal breaker, but maybe Claude is just this. Well, first of all, I've been using Chat since it dropped in what, 2022,
Training.
2020
Yeah.
December 2022,
Yeah.
and so I've been using it ever since then.
Mhm.
And it knows me, man. It's got me. It's gotten my.
Sure.
You talk about pattern recognition. Chat has figured out my patterns and my nuances and
Right.
and everything. So it's got me. And it collects all of my chats from the beginning.
Mhm.
It knows. Well, Claude doesn't have that database of me, so I do
Right.
give some grace to Claude. It doesn't know me as well as Chat knows, and so that's where we are with that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. So I'm in the same boat. I feel like chat is still giving better generative output. But again, I've uploaded I've even gone as far as like taking trainings that I've done and uploading them so that it understands
Absolutely.
me better. Right. So we did
Understands
all of that.
exactly what you're focused on and
Who
what
I
you're
am and
doing.
how
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
stuff. So cool. So chat got me down because I trained it. Claude,
Yeah.
though, yeah, I'm still in the process. But what I like about Claude Cowork is like how you talked about Canva. You can connect Canva and just do it. The like, say you're looking for a graphic for the show, and just do it right there instead of going to Canva, doing it,
Yeah.
and coming back. It's all right there. And so I think Claude has a lot of bugs, Stu. But when they
Okay.
get them bugs figured out, it's gonna be a beast. I'm telling you.
So you can connect Canva. That's the only one I'm using right now in this example. You can connect Canva and Chat, but it did not produce for me the the document. that I wanted. It
In
told
chat.
me how to set right. But
Okay.
here's where last night, this is what I thought about last night. I said, I wonder if I tell chat to turn my resume into an image, a JPEG, will it now produce everything that I want in that image?
Right.
Will it be an image? Will it be a yeah, a
Yeah.
JPEG? So
Okay.
I think it might do it well in that manner. I'm betting that if I say turn my resume, create a image of my resume that I could present to the hiring authority, I have a
Okay.
feeling that it's going to get me something pretty dope.
Yeah, I would, because what I'm doing with chat, because we got the relationship, right? I don't even ask her to go to Canva. I'm just like, just do the image. Do it.
Just
Here's
do it.
what I'm looking for: a black man at a computer with headphones on, that's wearing a
Yeah.
dashiki and glass, and it will
Yeah.
do it, and it looks good. It looks great. So yeah, it's
Now,
good
let me
now.
ask, and I know you want to move this conversation along, but let me, because this is such a dynamic conversation. This really is. I imagine that a lot of people listening are really going to benefit from this.
Definitely. Yeah.
Let me ask. Let me first. Are you making money? Are you is chat is AI helping you to increase your income?
1,000%. one
Okay,
thousand percent. Yes.
I agree. I agree. I
Significantly.
have helped. Chat has helped me generate some income. Now, I I, I haven't been consistent,
Mhm.
but I had a client who needed a menu for their restaurant. And I first was just doing it on my own. It was taking some time. And the outputs that I was delivering to the client wasn't satisfied with.
Okay.
So I finally said, you know what? It's been longer. I've been spending more time on this than I would like. Okay. Going back to that point, like I think I'm better than the AI,
Yeah.
and said, let me go to AI and create something. Now I do think that my what I created, my creations were better. I do think they were better than the AI, but the AI was able to produce stuff that I just didn't have the capacity to do. The problem was when you looked at it, it really looked like some AI shit. It didn't, and now I'm starting to see. I can tell when people are generating images, flyers, and things that's AI chat generated. They
Okay.
all got a kind of same kind of texture to it, the
Hmm.
same kind of tone to it. And I'm like, we got
Well,
that's the part that worries me. Yeah.
can I give you a strategy that I've been using because of
Yes.
that? Because I agree, right? So what I've been doing is taking images that I created in Canva and saying, I need you to do it like this, just change it.
Okay.
So I've
That's a
already
block.
done it in Canva, so
Okay.
it's got the Canva professional look. Change it. So it's a black dude at a computer. Change this to a white woman with a dog in her lap. You know what I'm saying? And it does it, but it's in the same style and context.
Okay.
That
All
helped me
right,
a lot.
people.
Yeah,
All
try
right,
that.
people, y'all. Okay, let's try that. Let's
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah,
Okay.
good point, Stu. Good point. Now let's keep moving, Stu. Let's keep moving.
Yeah,
So
let's go. Let's
so
go.
so AI is not human, doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have lived experience, it does not care in the human sense. But AI can sound human, it can respond conversationally. So one thing Stu did, he did an experiment in real time when I was at his crib. He was like, yo,
Oh
chat, I
yeah.
need you to sound more like a black woman, right?
Oh
Now,
yeah.
I'll just jump to the conclusion. When we stopped, didn't sound like a black woman, but it was trying to
Yeah,
get
it was
there.
trying.
It's
It
trying to
was
get there.
trying.
You
That
know,
was
I was like,
unique.
okay, that was something.
And we could hear the slight nuances when we said to
Yeah.
add the southern drawl or to slow the pace down.
Yep.
It was doing it, and even in the words, the choice of words, it was adding it. I found that to be fun. That was fun.
Yeah. That was dope.
That was exciting. That was
No
very
question.
exciting.
Yeah. And informative for me, like it's just showing like you might be going to hang out with somebody and you get a jewel now that because I'm gonna go train mines now to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was dope. So okay, now that showed me that even though the technology is not human, we are beginning to relate to it in human ways. because you
Yikes.
basically were making a request to chat of how you needed it to show up for you, even in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay.
Very interesting, man. Very interesting. Let's pause right here real quick, E. Let's
Yes,
take
sir.
a quick commercial break. Let's reset the room. Remind the people where we are and what they're listening to, what they're watching.
Yes, sir. We are at the Money, Sex, Gen X podcast, global podcast. You here with E Money, myself, Professor Stu, Big Stu,
I
and we
like
are
that.
talking about, hey man, what's your relationship with AI, with artificial
Yeah, man.
intelligence? Do you have a relationship with AI? Are you just using it to find a restaurant? Are you using it at work? Because I've heard at certain corporate jobs they're making people use the AI. Are you using it as a therapist? I talked to Stu a little bit about that the
Yes,
other day.
yeah, that's
You
that.
got that
Yeah.
going on, right? That might be dangerous, but are you doing it? And are you generally just talking to AI like it's your homie or a confidant or friend,
Yikes.
right?
Yikes.
And if you
That's the
are
part
doing
I'm
that, is it anything wrong with that, right?
right. I'm judging. I'm clearly this. Look, I'm in my casual space on the Money Sex Gen X podcast. So, yeah, I'm being a little judgmental. Don't trip off of me, y'all. It ain't personal.
Okay.
It's I don't know what the movie was, but I know there was a movie about some computer programmer falling in love with his computer.
Yep.
Falling in love with it. I don't want you not. Hey, none of you Gen Xers, man, you cats, man. I don't want y'all falling in love with y'all devices now. Come on now. I don't
No
want
doubt.
y'all on date with your device, and I'm concerned if that's where you're going. But
Right.
yeah, if we don't have this conversation, I'm clear that the next generation will find more safety in this device because it probably won't let them down. Um, and they'll find more security and safety and security in the technology than they do in humans. Humans will let you down. Humans can deceive you. And I know there's concern about whether or not technology, will the robots take over and turn on us?
It's happening
I don't
already.
have that. I'm not ready to. It's happening. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna get in that, but hold on one second, brother. We gotta
Yeah.
talk about the African garb you got on. Crazy, man. Powerful.
Shout out to Dina Everidge. Shout out to Dina Everidge for going over to Ghana and thinking enough about me to bring me this authentic Ghanaian garb back
Super
from the
fly.
motherland.
Yeah.
It is super fly. This is only the third time I've worn it.
Okay.
But it's, I know how you come. And I know you
Yeah.
know what's real and what's not real.
That's
And
fly, brother.
I say, man, E-Money, yeah, it's embroidered. It's dope. So shout out to
Set the
Dina.
tone. You set the tone. I
Shout out to
appreciate
Dina
that.
Average, man. Appreciate you, Dina. That's my
Yeah, man.
girl. She be looking out big time.
No doubt.
But yeah,
Okay. I had to
thank you,
bring that
brother.
up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
All right. So Stu, I went to see this movie the other day about AI, and they were talking about the situation where there was a developer, a coder, right? So he created this technology, and then him and his team were about to switch over to a new technology. The
Ooh,
AI that he developed first found out about it and
I
said,
had heard that.
if you abandon me, I'm going to tell your wife you were cheating on her, that you are cheating on her currently. If you abandon me, held him hostage. I'm like, wow. And he had to
Now,
keep it going. He want to get exposed. I'm like, wow,
that don't even sound like a real story. It
it's
sounds like
real,
a
man.
Lifetime movie. I think I heard that, but
Real. It's real.
I,
Well, I can't say it's real, but it's
yeah,
thing that was presented, and I think it's possible because
yeah.
they made the points to that if AI is dependent upon humans to live and exist, why wouldn't it pick up on human traits such as deceit, bullying people, fraud, extorting others? They're going to learn all of our traits, not just the good ones that we need for work. What are your thoughts?
That's tough, man. And it's plausible. It's
Yeah.
possible for sure. I get
Yeah.
it. It
Okay.
makes sense. And to be very honest, if I'm being truly transparent. I just don't want to think about that possibility. But that's where we gotta talk to some other cats who are thinking about the possibilities of that AI kind of turning on you. I did hear a story. I thought you were talking about a different story about where there was a situation similar when some guys or somebody was going to transition to a new platform, and
Mhm.
the AI kind of was preventing it on
Mm.
itself, like just
Okay.
like to that point, they wanted to continue its life,
Right.
and so the AI kind of created some bugs
Not being
to
cooperative.
prevent, yeah, not
Yeah.
being to prevent it from having a end of life. I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting as well. It's one of those things for me, and this is kind of where I get in trouble. It's one of those things for me. It was like, man, I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
just sounds, but although it could very well be the absolute truth. You know what I
True
mean? It's like,
indeed.
damn,
True
for
indeed.
real? That's happening like that? I was like,
Yeah. And between the two examples we gave, maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle, right?
yeah,
That,
yeah,
it could do it, and to what level we don't know. But I guess it
yeah.
made me feel better because it's like, don't trust this thing too much now. You
Yeah, I
know?
just don't. I mean, I guess you could. We probably should have had this part of the segment. Yeah, I guess there are ways that things can hack your systems. Yes, there we talked about how giving Claude access to our Google Drive or to our email, could
Mhm.
Claude go in there and start sending out emails on our behalf? Could it learn our tone so much and send an email to my mom and make her hop on a plane and go somewhere because she thinks it's from me? Could it take over my telephone lines? And
Sure.
yeah, but I just I mean, I guess we see some of that now, and people are hacking shit now. So
Mhm.
I guess, but I don't imagine the computers, quote unquote, waking up, turning on its user. I I know we've seen Megan. Some of you may have seen the movie Megan 2.0 when it was about that, or Megan, with a it was literally about that. Like the computers turned on the people
Mhm.
and were very strong. The robots were very, very strong and hard to, humans couldn't match the robots. But then you had the core of the system that is built for good, that, kind of controlled the entire situation. You can't kill the mainframe, and the mainframe is the intention of the invention. And
Right.
the intention of the invention is for the greater good of the people.
That's right.
And you can't lose that part of the program can't be wiped out. This is for the greater good of the people. And yes,
Right.
some people will mishandle and misuse it for sure.
True indeed. Now, I want to get to this as we're kind of wrapping this up, right? So here's my burning question for this week, Stu. If somebody was able to stand on your shoulder or be watching you in your room somewhere, would they be surprised at how you're using AI? And here's what I envision in my head, right? There's people out there that are probably having some really bad relationships, whether they're romantic or family. They don't have anybody to talk to. And I just envision this person by themselves with the lights off with their phone, like, yo, I'm having a hard time right now. I need somebody to talk good to me, like talk to me, build me up, make me feel good. And they're going to probably get that response back from Chat or Claude or whatever they're using. Is there anything wrong with that if they can't get it anywhere else?
In the initial phase, no.
Hmm.
Initially, no. I mean, I definitely get, and I understand it. I definitely, my views on this have changed slightly since the beginning. In the very beginning, I was like, absolutely not, right? Like, nah, you don't, a computer can't help you figure out your personal stuff. And then I even ran across a situation where, somebody was having a hard time responding to a text message. I remember a
Yeah.
young lady was telling me that some guy was hitting on her, and she didn't know how to respond to the
Hmm.
text message. So she went to chat to
Okay.
help figure out how to respond. in my mind, I'm thinking like, come on, like use your, like you got that. You don't need tech, but some people do. Some people have a hard time socializing. Some people have a hard time finding the right thing to say, or maybe they come off awkward. So I see how people get to the point of like trying to use Claude or chat to help them navigate those conversations.
Okay.
Again, I'll just go back to the point, like if we become too reliant on it, are you helping the situation, which is to build relationship with another human, or are you actually creating distance between you and the humans themselves? Because you don't have to interact. You can just let chat interact on your behalf. So
Yeah.
that's my concern. That's my concern.
Okay. And that makes sense, right? I think so. What I'm hearing in that is like AI is a thought partner, but I think when that's said, people are always thinking about work. But it sounds like AI can be a thought partner in your personal life also. With
Yeah,
some
yeah,
with
and
some
I yeah,
guardrails. With some guardrails, right? It's not a human.
yeah.
You can't depend on it solely, but it can be helpful. Sounds like.
So yeah, and I did a test last night as well. Yesterday, what's today? Sunday. So whatever, a couple of days ago, I did a test. I realized that chat was always giving me these affirming responses. It's always agreeing with me, always agreeing
Really?
with me.
Okay.
Always. I mean, it's always giving me something positive, and it never. I had never had chat say, "Nah, that's not a good idea." No, or anything negative. It was always something positive. So I ran a test. I wish I could show it, but I ran a test in chat, and it gave me something positive, a positive output. And I said, give me the polar opposite response to this, you know, and it did. And it gave me something that's like, I'm really trying to pull it right now
Mhm.
because I want you to kind of hear. Um, I wish I could pull it for you right now, but it was basically saying, just giving me the negative side of the conversation of what I was getting from it. Okay, what's the polar opposite of the following text? Okay, and here's the following text. You're not impatient. You're efficient. Okay, so what it was saying was I was asking chat how to make me help me to figure out how to be. Let me just go there. We're gonna edit. This is a good part. E. Check this. Stay with me for a second. I was saying, hey, I need your help with a situation. I'm easily frustrated when talking to people on the phone. After a short period of time, say 5 to 10 minutes, particularly if the conversation is very surface or not stimulating, I want to end the call, basically. And it was like, hey, that's just low conversational stimulation tolerance. That's cognitive impatience. That's selective attention. That's some bits of ADHD traits. Like, here's what's happening. Breathe. Take a few minutes. Here's how to handle it without being dismissed. Okay, so I was like, all right, Chad, great. But give me the polar opposite. Give me the real talk. And it's like,
With moment of
here's what,
transparency.
yeah, yeah. It's like, it says, you're not efficient with your attention. You're
Okay.
easily distracted. You're
Yeah.
overly tolerant of low value conversations. Like it's telling
Wow.
me that. It's like, I need that. Like okay, that's just what I need. It's like, but if you don't manage it, you'll come off as overly accommodating and unfocused. If you don't
Okay.
manage it, or if you manage it poorly, you become someone who drifts through conversations without direction. You waste time instead of protecting it. You stay stuck in surface level interactions. You
Mhm.
struggle to build meaningful and impactful. See, and for me. Like that's the type of conversation I need. Real talk. I don't need sugarcoating conversation. I need no sugar. Give it straight to me.
Glad you
And
brought that
so
up.
I had never had chat talk to me in such a way as like, bro, you bullshitting.
Right.
Nah, you being passive. You wasting time and like get up out of there. Like, and
Yeah.
so I thought that was interesting. And so I'm concerned
Yeah.
that it will make us a bit passive
Yeah.
if you don't engage with it properly.
So I'm glad you brought that up. And here's a suggestion that I want to give everybody out there, and I'm doing what I've actually done. You do need to spend the time to train your AI because you can put instructions like "Don't bullshit me." I've actually had people say they put in "Don't bullshit me," but I put in something like, "I don't need you to agree with me. I need a 360 outlook on what we're talking about." However you want to do it, right? So, and here's the other thing I'm thinking about, Stu, as you gave that example, and thank you for sharing that transparency. We do it with humans, don't we? If you're interacting with
Yeah, you were
somebody, you're
talking
kind
about
of
that.
trying to train them on how you want to interact with
Yeah.
them. You'll hear a woman say, "Don't talk to me like that," or I don't like people cursing when I'm talking, whatever it is that we're doing. So
That's
if we're
true.
going to say that this is human like, we have to have that expectation that it needs to be trained on our preferences as well. So that's a great
Yes.
point. A
That's
great
a
point.
great point. That is a great point. Yeah,
Yeah.
you brought that
So
up.
thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Hmm.
Okay. So keep training your AI so that especially if you are using it as a supplement for human interaction, that it can get as close as possible to what you need. To
Here,
what you need.
yeah. This is an important takeaway, and maybe you have a moment for important takeaways. And I know we're wrapping this up, but what's super important for everybody listening is, in my opinion, it's important that you give direct inputs instead of people saying, "Hey, create," it used to be in the very beginning, "Write me a story in the tone of Malcolm X
Yeah.
about the defunding of police, whatever." And it would generate that article. Now, what I'm recommending is that you create the article. Go write the article. You don't even have to write the article. You can you can dump your thoughts about what you want the article to be about, but be very, very, very specific about what it is that you want, and then use these technologies to help you create the format. No
Mhm.
longer are we saying, "Hey, just write me, just make me." No, give it exactly what you are asking for, whether it's in personal, whether
Yeah.
it's in professional, or whatever the case may be. You have to give it what you want to deliver to you.
And there's nothing wrong with also doing this, which I do a lot. You write the first draft and say, "Write this better."
Write this better. But you
Because I
have
mean that's
to
kind of
write
vague,
that first
but
draft.
over time, if you've trained your AI, they know what you mean by that. Like I need you to tighten this up. I'm about to send this to my client. And it knows what you mean by that. Like it needs to be professional, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So that's what I do a lot. I'm glad you brought that up. Improve this for me. I started it, but I need you to help me finish it. And I still might make some revisions after you do the
Absolutely.
output, but it has saved me time of trying to figure out the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's a big deal. That's a
And
big
don't
deal.
forget,
Okay.
people, you can speak your commands into chat as well. So if you get bogged down
We're
with
working on that.
typing, you can speak it out.
Yeah.
You can brain dump, which is phenomenal.
Now, Stu, can you give the audience this game? Because you did something the other day that I don't really do. So you had the AI, the chat specifically speaking to you. What's the setting to do that?
So I believe it's on the mobile. I need to see if it's on the desktop version, but there is in chat there is a microphone, and then there's the sound wave icon to the right of the microphone. And if you press that, it will only engage in conversation. It's not going to give you any outputs. It's not giving you text outputs. The microphone, you speak into the microphone, it's going to generate text outputs. But if you press that wavelength, it's a recorder, or it's a microphone actually. But it's I wish I could show you, but there's a microphone icon, and then to the right of it there's a sound wave icon.
Okay.
The sound wave icon activates the conversation, and it's only giving conversation.
Now, are you able, I don't know what your setup is right now, but do you have your phone where you can just give us an example where we can hear it talk back to you?
Yeah, I can actually do that.
Like
Do you
however
want to
you would
give me
normally engage it.
so
Just so
I
we can
okay, so
hear it.
here's just for the record, I don't normally use this feature at all because I'm the guy that's not engaging with the technology like that. I was just demonstrating for you that it could be done.
Oh, okay, I thought you did that. No, okay, well
No, I
that
don't. I don't. I
yeah,
don't.
'cause I will do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna start doing that. But I'm
So
hoping the audience to hear what that sounds like. It was
let
cool.
me see. Let me go. Okay, here's pulling up. Pulling up. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear it. Good morning, chat. Hey, listen. I'm thinking about making some breakfast this morning. It's a Sunday. It's Easter Sunday here in Chicago. It's not very sunny out, but I need something to kind of pep me up for today. You got any ideas on how you might be able to help me?
How about a breakfast that feels a little special? You can make something like a veggie pack omelet or maybe some pancakes with a bit.
Can you hear that?
I
Yeah,
can hear you just fine. If you want to
it's a
tweak
little low, but
anything
I
or
can.
talk through more ideas, I'm right here.
But I think you all get the point. Like you can kind of go back and forth and have a verbal conversation with chat and other AI. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that later. I'm definitely gonna try that.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like, hey, if you're not using AI, if you're apprehensive of I really wish I could get you off of that horse. I really wish I could get you to embrace it. I understand why people might be afraid of it. It seems overwhelming, but I just want to remind people of Wikipedia. I want to remind people of Facebook. I want to remind people of Google. In the beginning, people were very, very apprehensive to it, even with cryptocurrency. We get these new technologies, and particularly African Americans here in Chicago are apprehensive, slow to adapt. They want to do research and they got to figure it out. But with this AI, a couple of things. You're already you're already a little bit behind, but it's not too late. Get in front of it. You do control it, but get in front of it and use it. You're not going to lose your job to people. You're not going to lose your job to AI, but you might really, really be in a tough situation when it comes to people who use AI versus people who don't. And I
Mhm.
do think, and E-Money can talk about this a little bit, I do think that in 2026, it's virtually impossible to not have an income or to be struggling financially. It's almost, if you are, I think you probably need to up your game on technology, AI usage, and ways to generate income because it's out here. It's out here, and the artificial intelligence can help. It can help, but you got to get in front of it. So, um,
Yeah, that's good. Right.
I know we're gonna get some pushback from this, but I think in 2026, this is where it's at for right now.
Okay, that's a great take. And I'm gonna do an episode on Eric on money about, is with all these advancements in AI, are people really gonna be able to make more money, or is it still a situation of if you got a bad business idea, it's still bad?
Oh,
You
I think
feel
it's
me?
definitely that, right? Like
Still
it
bad. You're
definitely
just putting a
is. Yeah,
bad image,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I want to talk about that more in the
That's a
future.
great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I'll have to think about that and explore that and do some tests on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a good pin to put in this conversation. I think this was really good. Please give us your feedback, you all. You can email us at moneysectionnextpodcast.com. You can hit us up on any of these platforms. Let us know how you use AI, what your relationship with AI, and any tips that you want to share so we can talk about it in future episodes. We want to run through
Yes.
our last segment real quick, Stu, which is
Okay.
characters from corporate.
Let's
We
go.
ain't did
Let's
this in a
go.
while. So cool. So if you're new to the show, characters from corporate is our segment where people write into us or we talk to people face to face and they give us a scenario in corporate that they want our feedback on. Today's I had for a while, but I'm using it because we're talking about AI, so it's very relevant. So this one was I'm a Black Gen X male and I'm a Wharton Business School grad.
Oh,
Wharton Business School. Now, if
oh.
you all don't
That's
know this
great.
out there, like Wharton is sometimes the number one business school at times. Okay, so this is a big deal. It's a black man who went to
It's a
Wharton
big
School.
deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said he works as a management consultant in a global consulting firm. So he's probably at Accenture, Deloitte, one of those.
Mhm.
He said everybody's acting like they've been using AI for years. I'm watching people use it to draft emails, summarize meetings, and all this different stuff, and even think through difficult conversations that they need to have with their bosses and spouses. What's throwing me off is not the technology itself, it's how fast people are depending on it to help or do their work. And then I've got coworkers who are talking about they've created AI agents that they're kind of talking to like they would talk to their wife or their therapist. It's like a wife, a therapist, and an executive coach all in one, and an assistant. He was like, meanwhile, over here, I'm still a machine, right? Am I using it? Like, am I just not using it to the level of my peers? Or am I, he says, I know I'll likely start getting left behind in terms of ability to generate output against my coworkers, but I'm just not feeling AI like that because I don't think it should replace humans. Am I a character from corporate for thinking in this way? It's interesting still.
Well, it's kind of along the lines that my thought, right? It's like,
Okay.
yeah, y'all ain't taking a minute to just think through the problem without AI. I agree with him that there's a conversation about, is it making us lazier mentally or thoughts, and I see where it's just going to be super easy. Just let the AI do it. Just hopefully, if that is the direction we're going in, then that opens up our mind to think about more serious issues or more complex issues that need to be solved. I don't think this guy is a character from
Okay.
corporate. I think the majority of people I think that is the way that we're going to go. And unfortunately, I think that more people are going to be relying on the technology. And I think honestly that there's going to be more division between humans. I went out to shout out to the Family Den on 89th and Stony Island. I was at the Family Den last night, and to see the number of people who were on their phones, man, instead of admiring the atmosphere,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
having been out on a date, and my date is on their phone, most of
Wow.
the date, and
Okay.
and I see it more and more.
Sure.
So my hope is that people will literally find time to put the phones down to interact and engage with other humans. But I do see that there's a wave of people who will be more connected to their technology as their wife, therapist, executive professional coach than to humans, than to each other.
Yeah.
That kind of saddens me a little bit.
It's very unfortunate. I had a lady that I was meeting with last week, and she was talking about how she created an agent on OpenClaw. The agent's name is Marcy, and she talks to Marcy more than she talks to her husband. And her husband has recognized this and called her out for it. But she prefers to talk to Marcy over her husband. Right, that's interesting.
And what's now okay, that is interesting because I'm kind of feeling that a little bit. That's another conversation for another day. I'm kind of feeling that a little bit. If that means that her and her husband can still just have a great time and still be loving to each other and still enjoy life, or does the husband feel like that's some form of infidelity?
Mm, that's something new to think about. Is it infidelity when you're going that deep with AI? Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I've been called out for it being infidelity when I'm liking on a woman's pictures.
Sure.
The thought of being with another woman is infidelity, or if I'm being too intimate in conversations, sharing things that's infidelity. And so is this, and I'm sure people, oh no, that's not infidelity. This okay, well, this is what I'm talking about.
Might be
This
though,
is what
because
I'm
you use
talking
the key
about.
word through intimacy. And if you got
Intimacy,
more
man.
intimacy with the machine than your mate, that's a problem. I would imagine it is. I haven't been in that situation yet. I'm sure I will be, but that seems like it'd be a problem.
Well, this is what I see. This is the direction I see people going. It's like, these humans will let me down. This Claude won't let me.
There you
Chat
go.
won't let me down. Chat will
Right.
talk to me nice, chat. You know what I
Talk
mean?
to me
Like,
nice. Talk to me when I want to talk. Right, 24/7. Yeah.
and agree with me.
Yep.
And agree with me. Don't disagree with me. Build me up. Give me those words of affirmation. Oh my gosh, people. I want to hear your thoughts about this conversation in the chat. Let me know what y'all thinking about this.
I
This is
like
so
that,
interesting.
though, hype me up. I mean, I think it has its place, right? You have them days where you need that. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm that dude. I got to go to a meeting in a minute. I need to hear it. You got all the background information on what I've done. Tell me I'm that dude before I go to this meeting. I really need this chat. Hey, that might be very helpful. You know what I mean? You might
For
not be able
some,
to hear that nowhere else.
for some people, I bet that's very, it's neat. Okay.
Yeah.
No diss to those people who need that. I'm not gonna diss you. I'm not,
Yeah.
because not everybody is able to get that for themselves or from their circle of influence around them. So if that's what you need to feel good about yourself, to build yourself up, go for it. Go for it, because it's a competitive world out here. So absolutely go for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe you need it right at that moment. So maybe your partner will do it right there in the meeting. You're not available. So, you know, okay. So this has been a great conversation. I hope you all have enjoyed it as much as we have. This is, let me get this right. This is season 8, episode 52. What's your relationship with AI? This is Eric signing off. Big Stu. We will see you all in the next episode. Until then, peace.
Peace.
Money.
Sex.
Gen X.